Well, the read again is like, what on earth just happened over a
Thank
very
you.
short
That's what I said to Carol during one of the breaks.
I
was like, what happened in the last 24 hours
Still
here?
trying to work out what's going on here. But basically, as you say, like, he came out of the blue, surprised everybody with this declaration of emergency, martial law. Everyone ran to Parliament. He tried to stop people getting to Parliament. They got into Parliament. They voted against it. And now, hours later, he's saying he's going to rescind it. So begs the question, what was he attempting to do with this?
Is there a strategy here, or does it just feel like things just kind of happening, I don't know, it just feels very randomly?
It does. Did he feel he had nothing to lose? Was he hoping there were secret supporters in the cupboard who were going to come out in this moment and support him? Suddenly there would be this groundswell of support for him when he was already unpopular as a leader. And certainly a gambit like this is unlikely to endear you towards people in South Korea. So backtracking very quickly, and the question is, what does it mean for him now? Does he have to step aside? Is he forced to step aside? Does it hasten this conversation that was already going on about impeaching him as part of the political process? Are his days numbered? And if so, are we heading towards a change of administration again in South Korea?
What's the message that it sends about South Korea around the world? And I'm not just talking about to the United States and to North Korea, but also to China and other parts of the world as well.
Well, the good thing is it seems like the institutions have worked here in this case. I mean, he attempted something, the institutions held up, Parliament did what it needed to do. The people of South Korea were very quick to say what they wanted from this, and they're very, they hold democracy very dear to their hearts in South Korea. And so some of those things do seem to have done what you would expect them to do in the minute. So that's a sign of robustness, at least in the political structure. But of course, South Korean politics has been messy for months. I mean, a minority government, Parliament not really working, questions over the budget, questions over the economy, and a country distracted by all of that. And so distracted South Korea, what does that mean for the region? And it's not good.
I'm looking at the iShares MSCI South Korean ETF. EWY is the ticker. It was down as much as 7%, now down about 1.7%. So we, of course, like to watch kind of market reactions. So not as bad as it was earlier. I'm also looking at our live blog. The White House says it wasn't notified in advance of President Yoon's announcement. The relationship, I mean, it's a pretty good one, strong one, right, between the United States and South Korea. So I wonder, is that a little bit of a breakdown or just things moving fast and furious?
Well, it seems like he didn't even tell his own party he was going to do it, let alone ring up the White House and say, by the way, I'm intending this. But it's also a question mark because we've got Donald Trump coming into the White House, potentially a very different policy on South Korea, because in his first iteration, he was very critical of South Korea, saying they weren't paying enough of their money to fund their own defense, threatening to pull US troops from South Korea to weaken military support. So it's a pretty tricky time for that relationship in general. And so you do need a strong leader in South Korea with a clear sense of purpose. And you don't need this kind of crisis environment because you're going to have to work out how to manage that relationship.